Good afternoon, everybody. Back in another evening of going through the Forex pairs and then going through some trade recaps as well. As usual, we're probably going to start bottom of the list and work our way up. US dollar, Mexican peso pairs, nothing too interesting. US dollar, Japanese yen, nothing I want to partake in. US dollar, Swiss franc, coming into the support line right here. Playing a bounce, something I'm interested in. Not at the moment. There's some other trades I would rather take right now. Don't want to take on a shit ton of trades at once. Not the best idea to do that. The US dollar, Canadian dollar, same thing. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Pretty slow grind up this whole trend line. Once again, I think there are better opportunities out there right now. A New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen broke above this resistance. This might have been the retest, but I'll if anything, I'll wait for another pullback to look for an entry there. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. I was looking for it to break above this resistance and then resume off of it. But now we've broken down out of this trend line. Let's see if we bounce back up or not. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. Nothing too interesting here. British pound, US. Nothing too crazy here either. Coming up against some sort of resistance right here. Not a trade I'm looking to take at the moment, at least. British pound, Japanese yen. We're coming above this resistance line. And then if we do end up resuming up, this is a possible trade. Take profit somewhere right up here, 90 pips up. Stop loss like right around down here, 40 pips. Roughly a 2-to-1 risk reward. Not too bad. Something, one of the pairs to consider for sure. British pound, New Zealand dollar. Once again, we're kind of consolidating right under this support line, which is now should be resistance. Another possible entry right here to the downside with a stop loss, probably somewhere up around here, just to play it safe. Another possible entry to take as well. British pound, Swiss franc. Nothing too interesting here. Possible head and shoulder setting up right now. Other than that, nothing too interesting. British pound, Canadian dollar. Nothing much going on. British pound, Australian dollar. Still kind of just ranging. This one's a good possible head and shoulder forming here as well. We'll see if this continues downward. If it breaks, we'll definitely look to get into a trade there. The Euro US dollar. I was hoping to get in a trade down here, but this breakdown candle was a little too big for me. This would have been the entry if it rose above that, and then the stop loss would have been under this. That's too big. Decided not to get in the trade. Obviously, it ended up jumping up like crazy, gapping up. So now, probably wait for another retest or break above this and retest that. But we'll see what happens. Euro, Japanese yen, same thing. It's kind of skyrocketed up today. Waiting for the retest. Euro, British pound. This was a trade I was in. The other trade I mentioned from yesterday. I did again stopped out of this trade too. I entered like right around here. Got filled. I was hoping it would resume up and keep going, but it didn't do that. It broke all the way back down. I had my stop loss right here. And I ended up getting stopped down this candle right here, and then it made its way back up. Unfortunately, I should have probably had my stop loss, a wider stop loss, like under the main trend line as well. But yeah, I got stopped out of this trade too, unfortunately. So both my first two trades for the month got stopped out on. The Euro, Swiss franc, nothing too interesting. Euro, Canadian, Also breaking out of a trend line, waiting for the retest as well. Nothing here. It is continuing to test it some more and then resume back up. Possible trade to look into. Take profit somewhere around here. Swiss franc, Japanese yen. This is the pair that I really want to get into a trade. I didn't think it would happen now. Like I thought it would be probably about another week or so before it made any moves, but it did make a move now. Same thing with the other pairs. Other two pairs waiting for a retest. Canadian, Japanese yen. Kind of ranging slightly upwards. If I do get a trade on a resumption up here, take profit will be somewhere around here, which is about 60 pips take profit, about 25 pips stop loss. Greater than 2-to-1 was risk reward, worth it. Canadian, Swiss franc, nothing too much going on. Australian dollar, US dollar, kind of hanging out in that area. And then this is the other trade that I talked about yesterday that I did end up getting into overnight. Had his entry order right there. Made his move down here during the day, moved my stop loss to break even right here. Haven't gotten stopped out yet. Still in the green on this trade. Looks like this is a pretty tall wick to the upside, so this looks like it might end up resuming back down. We'll just have to see. But right now, stop loss is at break even, so don't lose anything on this trade. Have some alerts set up. The next really real line of resistance is probably somewhere around this alert, which is another 30-something pips away. So if this trade does end up going there, we'll see how it reacts. But the main support that I'm looking at is the one all the way down here. Probably where I start to take some off the table, take some profits if possible. Or it might just blow past through that, and then I'll look to take profit down here. But once it does reach in there, I'm definitely looking to take some units off the table. Probably about 20% off the table and leave 80% of my position left in the trade. See if it goes further. But if it does start resuming back up higher and higher, the moment it starts bouncing back up, I'm just out of the trade completely. So we'll see what happens. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Nothing, kind of consolidating right around on top of this trend line. Not really moving much anywhere. Couple possible entries I could have taken and probably held on for like another week or so to see if it makes it above here. But at this point, unless it comes back down and gives me another possible entry, I'm not going to enter this trade. Nothing too interesting going down on here unless it breaks down on this support line right here. Breaks down, resumes down. Not going to be in a trade there. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, nothing too interesting there as well. So we do have a bunch of pairs that are either setting up soon or we're just waiting for the retest. So the retest probably won't happen yet. It might happen overnight in the Europe session, and then we might get the resumption up in New York. But for now, the only real possible trade that I might take to look overnight, let's see, that pair, British pound, Japanese yen, Canadian, Japanese yen are really the only pairs I'm looking at. So it's franc Japanese, Euro Canadian, Euro US, and New Zealand Japanese. Waiting for retests. So tonight, for probably another 2 hours, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, or 2 hours right when we switch over to the next bar. I gotta decide if I want to take a trade on either of these two pairs. Right now, I feel like I might take the British pound Japanese yen more just because it is trending upwards. Whereas Canadian Japanese yen is more sideways right now. This is the definite take profit here for this. If it does break off that, resume off of this higher level, that's another entry you could take if it happens. But this looks like it is resuming higher. If it breaks off here, it looks like this resistance level probably isn't going to cause too much trouble. If we definitely clear above this, this will be the next level to look at. So if anything, I might take the British pound Japanese yen pair again, but probably stick on it for a bit. Might not enter in either, but we'll see. But other than that, that's pretty much it so far for the month, at least. December officially was in 3 trades, got stopped out of 2. Third trade, I'm in the green. And then if this trade goes well, we'll put myself back in the green for the month overall. Proper risk management, so I haven't been losing too much money on the trades I got stopped out on. If this trade ends up working out, and depending on how far it ends up going, we either break even for the month so far, or in the green for the month. We'll take it from there. That's pretty much it.